up, dude?
Rock and rolls.
Live from Brooklyn right now, dude. Pretty freaking different. I told you how, what's her name, hit me up.
Yeah. To get a job.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, like I can check with my manager and the recruiting people, just like see what's good. And she goes, okay, like, can you tell me a recruiting like manager to reach out to? And I was like, I'm not going to do that, because if you do that, then I'm not going to get the referral bonus, and I want the referral bonus.
Obviously.
So I asked my manager, I'm like, yo, like this girl hit me up. I went to school with her, don't really know her, asked if we're hiring. And he goes like, no, like we're interviewing, but we're not hiring. We're on a freeze right now. So I'm like, all right, that's fair. So I hit her back with that. I'm like, I say exactly what he said verbatim. And she goes, the letter okay, thanks. And I was like, dude.
Like capital O, capital K?
I think lowercase k, but still okay.
Okay, thanks.
I
So
said,
classy, dude.
right, dude. And I said, no problem. Good luck. Nothing. Like, why? You hit up me.
Yeah. If anything, you were doing her a favor.
Yeah. Why is she gonna get salty?
Leave your ego at the door.
Dude, like you would read that as she's salty, right? The okay, thanks, and then the
like she needs like 2 or 3 exclamation points if she's just gonna say okay, thanks.
I don't know, just say thanks. Thanks for wishing me good luck. Maybe I just expect too much out of people to be. I don't know.
I haven't seen you in a while. Your mustache is looking real creepy.
I thought you were gonna say like full or something.
No,
yeah, no, it is. Shaved it down today. Everything else, hence the razor being broken. Tough loss for the squad, but you know, Amazon for a reason, and I don't have to go to work. So this ugly mug can stay ugly for a little bit.
Nice,
dude. My facial hair was so gross freshman year. Like I literally just like I was like, yo, I'm rocking. I like the stubble because I can finally grow it, but like I literally just let like the neck beard grow in too. And then I think it was until like spring term when I realized like, you gotta fucking line that shit up, buddy. Like that is not a good look.
Dude, I don't think I could grow facial hair back then.
I think you were on the shave wave until the latter half of 1041.
Or just junior year, I would let it go sometimes.
Yeah, you were literally rocking the patches at that point.
Yeah, that was super patchy. Super patchy.
Just call me Patch Handler.
Or Harold Handy Pants.
The third.
I'm like full-time a commando guy now. Never wear underwear.
Ew, dude. I could not free ball ever.
Why?
I just
so comfortable.
No, dude. Total opposite.
So comfortable. Let the boys breathe.
I need them high and tight.
Yeah. It's not good. That's not good for a sperm reproduction.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure it's the other way around, because when they're hanging around, they just get battered. I'm like, pretty.
But if they're constricted, they're not like.
No, not constricted. They're just held.
I need the secure packaging of jockeys. My boys need a house.
That's nice. Listen, Kramer, you know, if you ever want to have kids, you shouldn't wear briefs. Boxers are much better for your sperm count.
Sperm count? Well, how many sperm should I have?
A lot.
Speaking of really shitty facial hair, where's Keon?
Oh my God. Bro, Keon. What's up, dude?
All right. We wanted to talk about aliens and UFOs. Yeah, let me just start off by saying they're 100% real. We know the government confirmed them, but I was told to listen to this Joe Rogan podcast with Bob Lazar. At the very end of it, Joe Rogan's talking about how like orangutans and monkeys, like primates, they're starting to enter the Stone Age. There's literally a picture, and like there are multiple videos of monkeys fishing with spears. Dude, how crazy is that?
That is fucking nuts.
Like,
wait, was that Was that learned? Like, did they do that on their own, or did they see us doing that?
They saw us doing it, and they start like no, we didn't teach them, but they use their eyes, and that's how they like learn. Which is then Bob Lazar was saying how UFOs, like imagine a car, right? They're parked like this on the tires, but when UFOs fly, they fly with the tires out. Like, they go like yeah, like
I
that.
feel like that's not shown in movies. In movies, I always felt like they fly like this and like
They
there's some
hover,
ramp
right?
coming out. Are UFO sightings consistent, or do you think they're multiple aliens? I feel like if it's a different species, they have their own craft.
Well, they do, and in the Bob Lazar doc, there were 9, I think, different UFOs at the site he was working on. He only worked on one. He said one of them was found by archaeologists. Like, can you imagine looking for a dinosaur and then you hit metal and you're like, holy shit, what is this?
Yeah.
Well, I also read like a bunch of abduction stories right before bed last night, and that was not a good idea. It's like creepy. Like the out of body experiences people have had is just nuts. But that made me remember. Do you guys remember the when Haley Perry said she got abducted from Carriage?
Oh yes, freshman year, no?
What a story!
Yeah, what the fuck?
I remember Jill Lambert telling me, and I was just like, no fucking way. Like, she probably just blacked out. And she's like, no. Like, she didn't have anything to drink. Like, she must have been like sober sister or some shit. Like,
Leo, are you saying you believe Haley? Or are you saying it's now more possible seeing these pics?
I mean, I don't necessarily believe you're not going to get abducted from a fucking party by an alien. Aliens aren't stupid.
So where are you gonna get abducted? Where should I not go?
Like, they take people when they're sleeping, bro. Like,
Was she missing, or was it like?
no, she said she doesn't remember like 2 hours of the 3 hours of the party, and came back and had like a triangle shaped, like 3 dots on her arms, and like that's the sign. That's like a telltale sign of getting abducted or something.
My like stomach just flipped.
Leo, I feel like blackout girls, those are pretty good, like alibi, like, oh, you were just hammered, like, shake it off.
No, or
Yeah.
it's the thing where it's like the aliens knew she was sober sister and everyone was drunk, so no one was gonna believe her. So they're like, we'll just abduct her real quick. No one will believe her.
So in one of the posts last night, this one dude said he got abducted, and like after the abduction, like he had a scratch here, and then one on his back, like spine area. And the craziest part about this is he was magnetic at those points.
Dude, what?
If you're abducted, why would an alien return you? I feel like,
We're
not
trying-
to be
They
morbid,
would just want
like
like
the
a full in-depth scan of your body and your organs and that type of shit and see what you are and then give you back.
and not dissect you. You think they've already done that in the past, and they're like, we don't need to dissect anymore.
Maybe their technology is probably good enough where they don't need to dissect. They just do like a scan. They just-
scan or inject magnetic stuff into you. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get abducted. That would be so fucking freaky.
That'd be so scary.
I really am not down with that, but it would be a good story though. It would make great content for next week.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, they abduct people just like we take animals and shit into captivity and study them.
I don't think that they're really coming here to just take our shit and like kill us. Like they have so much more power if they can even get here from a different planet that they probably just want to know what's good and then carry on.
I don't know if you can say that. I don't know if you know their motives.
No, I don't, but that's what I'm thinking.
Like, well, my thing is, like, why do we study other animals, like giant squids and things like that?
That's a good question. I think
Just 'cause we can.
Yeah, because we can, just to see like what else is on our planet, like what else are we working with.
Yeah, I think it's the same deal. I think they're just genuinely curious what these chill legends are doing with the planet.
Yeah, fucking.
So you think it's like mice in a maze? So like whenever humans do that, and they're like, we'll see if these pyramids can build this if they're capable.
Oh, wow, like lab rats.
Like, I know sometimes we study animals because, like, some lizards can regrow limbs, and we're like, oh, that'd be cool if humans could do that, you know?
Yeah.
But
Oh wait, are you saying like they came down and gave instructions for the pyramids and said, "See if you can do it"?
I'm saying, like, that could be an explanation if you think
Something
aliens are
along those
responsible.
lines. I feel like
Because
in
then you have many control groups. You have the Mayans, you have the Egyptians.
yeah,
Like,
where
you're
else?
not going to test it with one rat.
Yeah, huh? That's something, dude. Think about ancient Egypt. Did they build that shit themselves with pulleys and rope and shit?
So the Great Pyramid was built. I don't know. It was built between two dates. But the time,
At least 50 years ago.
yeah, the time it took
Between two dates.
like
Yeah.
between the two
There was
dates
a start
from
date and then
start
there was
to
an end date, and in between was all the building.
exactly. And every time they would have had to lay one of those big ass blocks every 2.5 minutes, 7 days a week for the start to finish. Like, that's just crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah. If they did the pulleys and all that.
Dude.
That's what's got me thinking, like,
So then why did the aliens come down and help them build that shit, build the pyramids? Maybe
Yeah,
they,
what was the goal?
yeah, I don't know.
just wanted to bool with the boys.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what their goal is or why they would do it, but it's definitely crazy when pyramids were built and how high they were for the time period between those two dates we mentioned.
I think the biggest thing is, like, with the pyramids and all these other structures, how do you get the edges of these blocks so precise? They're like 90 degrees to a T, and they fit in perfectly.
See, that doesn't bother me as much. That's just engineering and architecture. Like, look at Romans. Like, they built their roads so straight, their temples so precise.
Yeah, but like, what materials do you need to do that? How do you cut giant pieces of rock like that? Precise.
I think the hard way. I think you do it with
A
a
chisel?
chisel and a
Yeah.
hammer.
Way
And
So
I mean,
you,
certain things aren't possible nowadays because of lack of slaves, as blunt as that is, I think. Like, you're a pharaoh, you're like, I want this temple. I can make my entire population do whatever I want.
dude, that's like pledging your entire life.
You
Fuck that.
know what I mean?
It's a good point. There were millions of just slaves who had to do whatever they were told.
It's like, name 10 pharaohs.
King Tut.
You know how there have been reports saying, like, they like zoom all around like this, and like it kind of looks like a ping pong ball in a cup.
Yeah.
Oh, that's they made a comparison to when you're driving on a hot highway, and you know how you can see like the shimmery
Shimmers.
heat. It could just be like we aren't able to see their true flight path because some gravitational or like heat thing. I don't know. Nuts. Let me tell you. This has also been documented. They like to hang out by military bases, nuclear facilities, and they also like to monitor our nuclear warhead programs. Like UFO shooting down trial runs of these missiles and stuff.
Is that like we still got it? Like we still could take over Earth?
Yeah,
We'll
pretty
come back
much.
later.
And it's like making sure that we're not killing each other, right? So this one guy was like, I think it might have been Tucker Carlson. He was like, yo, like, how do we know it's not the Chinese or the Russians? And the dude he was interviewing was literally like, yeah. So a couple of years back, they engaged Russian and Chinese ships engaged an unidentified flying object, and they died in the process. So they're trying to shoot it down, but they ended up crashing and were never heard from again. So
no one can argue that they're less advanced than us if they're visiting us, because we know that they're not in our solar system. And what's the furthest we've traveled? Mars probes, further maybe, but
yeah. Another point that Bob Lazar brought up was that they didn't necessarily have to start with a steam engine and then a combustion engine, right? So their first way of traveling could have been this crazy gravity. Like, they're going to be different elements on different planets, right? So they could have utilized some unknown shit to give them fuel or to play with gravity, right? So they may not necessarily be as advanced in us in terms of our technology. Like, if you look at the steam engine to where we are now with like the autopilot Teslas, we've come a long way, right?
Yeah.
So they could still be on their first couple of go rounds of whatever. We have no idea. Just otherworldly stuff. I just had this thought, and maybe I read it or saw it, is kind of monitoring us and our consumption of like natural resources and like destroying the world. And maybe because nuclear bombs have such an effect on the atmosphere and just like radiation and like life as we know it, maybe that's why they're like trying to stop us from.
Right. They don't want us to use those because it could fuck everything up. Yeah.
They could be studying our nuclear power for themselves too, and be like, I don't want to fuck up my planet.
You think they'd probably have like fucking laser guns.
Yeah, but just because that's what was available, like you made me really think when you're like, all right, they're going to use their elements, their planet to do like, maybe a steam engine doesn't work for them because they don't have water on their planet. Like they might not even need water. But
they might not even have any weapons, and they're hanging out at our military bases because they need to learn how to make their own weapons.
Oh shit. I was going down this a YouTube rabbit hole. That's what I wanted to do initially. And the first video I click on are these two BuzzFeed bozos. This one guy is the opposite of funny, but he thinks he's the man. He looks like a Walmart Drake Bell and saying all this bullshit. I'm like, dude, have an open mind. Like,
have an open mind.
You got to be pretty fucking dumb and closed-minded to think that there's like, even if you just think our solar system is the end-all be-all. We haven't even, like you said, Keon, we've gone to like Mars.
Yeah, not even humans, just a piece of metal we sent there.
Also, like, would you want to be I don't know for certain, like I truly believe, but I feel like aliens is one of those things that I would have to see, or like some concrete evidence. I know like the UFO footage was released, but I don't know if I don't want to be the only thing out there.
No.
And we're not, Keon. We're not alone.
I just want fucking Chris Pratt to come out of wherever and be Star-Lord on the US.
Sick.
But that means there's got to be some shit going on here, and New York is like the prime place for it to happen. So, don't really want that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I mean, maybe you'll see Thor.
Man, imagine just drops out of the sky.
Like there has to be some alien that was kind of like a scrub on his planet. Just comes to Earth, brings like all his like super high tech, and then just like becomes like what if like Elon Musk is just like an alien from another planet and just like brought the shittiest technology, and it's just like revolutionary for us, and now he's
literally that could be it. Same with Bezos,
dude, and the Simpsons creator.
The Simpsons. Oh my god,
they predicted everything. You know what Scientology is, right?
Yeah,
dude. If that was like actually like how the world was formed and shit from like a fucking alien god, and we're all just like, dude, that's such horse shit. And then like, you die and you go to planet Zork or whatever, and then you're like, fuck, dude, I was ragging on this guy all like Tom Cruise dumbass. Like, yeah, that'd be hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
This made me think of what are they called? Crop circles. The way I think is like, why would they do that? They literally could just be like, oh, let's fuck with them a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't
like-
have to be.
We'll think
Putting
about
chocolate in Johnny Mac's shoes. Like, let's just do it for shit. Let's just get a
Yeah.
laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, this will get a laugh back home.
Yeah, it's like, look at those
humans are
fools.
running in circles with their heads cut off.
Like, look at those idiots with tinfoil hats on.
That'll,
You think that'll save them from our vapor rays?
Dude, they're just like live streaming World War II back in the day.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine if like every year was a new season and that's just what they watched? I got to get this thing edited and posted before we disappear.